Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome back to Vibing Works. It's been a while, quite a while, I might add, but I'm finally settled in my new place. I moved multiple states over from where I used to be, and now I'm ready to get Vibing Works back up and going because there's a lot I have to teach you guys, and we still have to talk about. So let's pick up from our last conversation and move it forward. I hope everybody is doing well and just keep elevating in life. Today, we're going to be talking about the soul versus the spirit and understanding your inner design, the difference between the soul and the spirit. So, what's up, my fellow explorers of the vibrant mind? Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and important questions about human nature. What's the difference between your soul and your spirit? So I know I've had that question in my mind for a long time. I've done a lot of research to try to find a feasible answer. And recently I just had what could be considered a download come to me. And I wanted to share that with you guys because I think it will help you get a better understanding of just how life works and how you work. So let's get going. Now, I know this might sound a little like I'm splitting hairs, but just stick with me, y'all, because understanding this distinction can completely transform how you see yourself and your relationship with God. God, God. So, it's like the difference between knowing you have a car versus understanding how the engine, transmission, and steering wheel all work together. All of this is interconnected, what we're talking about today, y'all. Okay? So think of it this way. You wouldn't just try to put gasoline in your car's oil tank. If you did, man, good luck to you. I don't think that's going to work out very well. But once you understand where it should go, then I think you can make more educated, wise decisions. Well, when we confuse our soul and spirit, we're essentially trying to fill the wrong tank in our spiritual lives, y'all. You have to know the difference between soul and spirit to know which one you've been attending to or not attending to at all. So let's get this all sorted out once and for all, y'all. All right. So I'm going to give a couple analogies. Bear with me. So I'm trying to get all my notes organized and everything. But as I said before, it's great to be here and talk about this and get back on my vibrant works, y'all. Telling you. So now the first analogy I got is a house analogy. Just picture your house for a moment. So every house has three essential components: the structure, the electricity, and nowadays the Wi-Fi connection. So picture your body. It's like the physical structure. It's the walls, the roof, and the foundation. That's your body, y'all. It's what people see physically. It protects what's inside, all of our organs, and it's temporary. Eventually, every house needs major renovations or they get torn down. Your soul, so we had the body. Now we're talking about the soul. Your body is the physical container for your soul. What is your soul? Or what is a good description of the soul or a good analogy for the soul? Well, in this house analogy, your soul is like the electrical system in your house. It powers all the day-to-day operations. So the download particular that came to me recently about the difference between the soul and the spirit, it blew my mind when it came to me. The soul is like the energizer battery. So it's the actual energizing force for you to live a life. That's your soul. So let me make sure, bear with me. I want to make sure I say this analogy right. Okay. Look, this is the exact analogy. So your soul is like the remote control car, y'all. Remote control car is a toy. It's a physical item that is individual, unique, and even if you duplicate it, None of the duplications are exactly the same. Your spirit is like the battery, the energizer bunny, the soul connects to power your experience. Many souls can connect to the spirit of passion, for instance, to fuel such an experience. So we're gonna continue. I just wanted to say that, man. It's like your soul, man. It's your individual essence, you know. So your spirit is like the Wi-Fi connection, and we're going back to the house analogy. I just had to throw that one in. But your spirit is like the Wi-Fi connection. It's how the house connects to the outside world, to the internet, to unlimited information and communication. It's the direct connection, essentially, to God. The spirit is your connection that points you to the spiritual realm. That's your spirit. So now here's the key. Your physical body, your soul, and your spirit, all three of these things work together, but they serve very different functions. You can have a house with great structure, great electricity, but guess what? If that Wi-Fi down, we wouldn't even be having this video or this teaching right now. You know? You're cut off from the outside world if the Wi-Fi is down. That's what happens when our spirit isn't properly connected to God, y'all. All right. Now we're going to understand. We're going to just focus a minute here on the soul. It's your inner control system, y'all. So like I said a little bit before, your soul is the individualized experience and essence of who you are. You are a soul. You have a soul. You are the soul. So it's your individualness, and the spirit breathes into that soul to connect and bring information from God, y'all. But let's focus on the soul as a mission control. So let's zoom in on the soul first, because this is where most of our daily experience actually occurs. So think of your soul like NASA's mission control center. It's where all the decision making happens, where emotions are processed, and where your unique personality operates. I just told you it's individualized to you. So in mission control, you have different departments. You have the communication department, your mind, your thoughts. You have the navigation department, your will and your choices. And you have the systems monitoring department, your emotions, y'all. Okay? Your mind, the communication hub. Your mind is constantly receiving and transmitting information. So not only is your mind receiving information, the soul is receiving information, and your physical brain processes it. You're also transmitting the information based on your behaviors to communicate back to God. Oh, I got it. I understand. I can do this. I am this. I am that powerful. I have that much money. Just like a radio operator is picking up signals from your five senses, which is the processing memories, and it's sending out thoughts. Your senses are essentially giving you different types of information, because as a soul, you're inhabiting this body here. Okay? You're inhabiting this body. So you have to have senses in order to know this tastes like this. This smells like this. I can see this. That's what the senses' job is to give information. It's to, from my iris, is bouncing off the screen and sending information back so my brain can process it. Okay? So, but here's what's fascinating. Your mind, my mind, our minds can tune into different frequencies, y'all. Go look up frequencies and vibrations. It's a very important thing to understand when you start really working on yourself, y'all. But we're going to stay focused. You can focus on worries, the anxiety frequency. So worry is anxiety. It's a frequency that you tap into. Gratitude, that's a peaceful frequency. So let's say worry is here. Peace can be up here. Both are equally valid. At any point in time, you can choose to choose either one. That's what free will is. It's not worrying about what will happen. Well, it's a choice. Free will is mostly being able to understand you have the capability of choosing. No matter what, you have a choice to choose how you want to respond to life, not control life and squeeze it down and make it into whatever, but respond to life. Life gonna happen with or without you. But your response is your choice, aka your free will. Okay? So your creativity, that's an innovative frequency, y'all. Okay? The mind is incredibly powerful, but it needs direction from your will, your soul. You are the soul. You are the one determining these things, y'all. Okay? Your will, that's the navigation system. So we're going to talk about that next. Your will is like the GPS system of your soul, y'all. It's constantly making choices about where to go next. Should I say this or stay quiet? You know, if somebody get you upset, or let's say someone step on your shoe, or they do something that causes an emotional rising for you. That actual conflict of, should I say this? Should I stand up for myself? Or should I just stay quiet and keep the peace? The question is, whose peace you're keeping? You understand? So, think of your will like the captain of a ship. The mind provides the information. Hey, captain, there's a storm ahead. The emotions provide feedback. Whoa, it's a storm ahead. This feels scary, the emotional aspect of it. But the will makes the final decision. We're going to go through this storm anyway. That's you. That's the soul. That's soul level decisions. That's free will. That's your determination. So like I say, it don't matter that the storm is happening. It matters how you respond to the storm happening. And the part of response is what dictates your experience. Your experience isn't dictated on what happened to you at all. How you respond to what happens to you will dictate what's happening here. The heart center, the mind, the level of peace and tranquility you can experience, y'all. Okay? So, your will is what makes you uniquely you. Because only you will make the choice you would make. Nobody else can take that away from you or invalidate your choices. Nobody else is in your skin, in your experience. So the decisions you make are yours. Only you and your uniqueness in the way that God created you can influence or affect that final willed decision. Two people can have the same information, the same exact emotions, but they'll make different choices because they have different wills and different souls, y'all. Now let's dive in on the emotional side. Emotions is a haptic feedback system. Emotions are like the dashboard warning lights in your car, y'all. They're not good or bad. Emotions aren't good or bad. They're just themselves. They are what they are. They're an information system telling you what's happening under your hood, in your body, in your nervous system, in your physical essence, y'all. Okay? Fear is like the check engine light coming on. Hey, something needs your attention. When fear comes up, it's demanding your attention. You have to pay attention to what's about to happen when fear arises in your physical body. Joy, it's like the green, all systems go light. Like everything good here. We're going to have a smooth ride. You have no worries. Anger is like the temperature gauge, y'all. Something's getting really hot and needs to cool down. When you're angry, you can kind of feel your blood boiling, per se. You can just feel it like, it feels like a rise of steam just coming up and out of you. So, you need to cool down. But that all of those are emotional components built into the soul, okay? The problem comes when we let our emotions drive our car instead of just giving us the information. Just because you're mad doesn't mean you have to respond mad. You can. It's a valid choice. However, how you respond will be reflected back to you, which will cause you to stay in that frequency. Your response determines your level of frequency you will have access to. So if you're responding like an angry person, then you will stay angry because you're in an angry state, an angry frequency. You chose it with your will. So your emotional system will tell you, hey, if you down to be angry, I'm turned up. Let's go. Let's be angry. But as soon as you determine, nah, I'm good. I'm angry, but I'm good. I want to respond in a different light, in a different essence. Okay? So, let's get down to your ego, your personality construct. It is your unique operating system. Like Microsoft Windows is an operating system. Mac OS is an operating system. And there's many more. Linux is an operating system. Your personality is like your soul's operating system. It's the unique way you process life. Some people are like Mac computers, creative and intuitive. Others are like PCs, very logical and systematic. And others are like tablets, adaptable and touch-oriented. So none of these is better than the other. Well, that's subjective, but they're just different ways of operating. See, God designed all of us with incredible diversity, y'all, and personality, because he needs different kinds of people to accomplish different kinds of purposes. And I know I said God as in he, but God isn't a he or she, but that's what I grew up saying, so it just comes naturally to say God as in he, okay? So, Let's get into the spirit side, y'all. We talked about the soul. That's your individual free will self. Okay? Let's understand the spirit a little more. So your soul is you, but you have to be powered by something. You have to receive information from somewhere to even have an experience, the experience we have in this here life. Okay, y'all? So, let's warm this up. Let's go, vibrant minds. Let's go. Now, the spirit as your spiritual antenna, y'all. Your spirit is like a high-powered antenna designed specifically to connect you with God, to power you, to power the soul. The soul is all of your unique makeup, but the spirit is like the breath of life that's put into you. So there's different types of spirits that you can tap into: the spirit of passion, the spirit of joy, the spirit of love. But when you tap into them, what are they doing? They're powering you. That's what spirit does. It empowers you. So, just like your phone has different antennas for Wi-Fi, the cell phone connection to the actual cell phone towers outside, and the Bluetooth to your speakers in your headphones, your spirit is the specialized antenna for divine communication. That's where you get your information from. Like, oh, I need to make a left here instead of a right. You don't even have a GPS or nothing. But something in your spirit, it powers you. Like, let's make a left here. That's the communication from God. And you make that left, and you avoid something that could have been catastrophic towards you, that you read in the news later or on a newspaper. So that spirit is the battery, the powering, the communication, the direct communication between you and God. And I point up as in God is up, but we all know God is in. Okay? So, here's the things about antennas though. They can be disconnected. Like when your phone get put in airplane mode, you disconnect from the actual communication from the tower. It can be weakly connected. Like when you have one bar signal, you ain't been doing what you're supposed to do, or you're not really listening to the communication. It's a weak signal. Or you can be strongly connected When you're right there next to the tower or the Wi-Fi router, y'all. The divine spark. Think of your spirit like a matchstick that contains the potential for fire. The matchstick itself isn't the fire. The actual stick isn't the fire, y'all. But it carries the capacity to ignite. And when it comes into contact with the right source. That's why I'm saying everything we're talking about is energy. Like powering. The source of powering you. That's what spirit is. So we're going to use the biblical explanation here. When God breathed into Adam, he wasn't giving him biological life. He was placing a divine spark within him. That spark is your spirit, y'all. It's the part of you that's designed to resonate with God's frequency. The blueprint to God's frequency, y'all. When you tap into God's frequency, y'all, I've tapped into it a few times in my life. I got to get better at staying there. You know, I'm human. But when you actually in it, I'm telling you, it's as if you have everything that you need. Everything is taken care of. Everything doesn't even have to be controlled. It's just controlled already. Everything is in place. It's free flowing. It's a beautiful place to be. And I'm going to keep working on getting there more and more often, you know what I'm saying? Because that would mean I'm on my Bobbing Works. I'm connected divinely. And I'm receiving these messages to teach you guys. Because we got to spark your mind, man. Okay? There's work to be done here on this earth. And there's a lot of fun to be having in your life. No matter what happened before. Right here, right now is the spark, the start of something beautiful in your life if you allow your mind to become vibrant. And that's what Vibrant Works is all about. All right, so the spirit as your God, G-O-D, GPS. You know how Google Map works? Well, if you don't, I'll tell you. Thanks for asking. It connects to satellites in space to tell you exactly where you are, precisely, you know, and how to get where you're going. Your spirit works similarly. It's designed to connect with God to give you divine guidance and direction. Your spirit not only powers you, it guides you, man. It guides you. You ever felt in the zone with your creative project, your art, your music? It was guiding you. You was just like, I'm not even doing nothing but allowing it to happen. And as it was happening, you was just in such a beautiful state. It was just guiding you, and there was no hiccups. There was no mistakes. There was nothing that could go wrong when you were in that state. When your spirit is properly connected, you start receiving what some people may call gut feelings that turn out to be right. Intuition, that's what the job of the gut, spiritually speaking, is to empower your intuition. Peace about decisions that don't make logical sense. You're like, man, they don't gotta make sense. I just know what I know. I'm connected to something higher than logic. Imagine it. I'm connected to something higher than logic. It don't even have to make sense to me. I just know I'm so well connected. I trust the path I'm on. Everything gonna fall in place. And I'm a witness to that particular analogy, y'all. I'm a witness. The way my move happened from Texas to where I am now, it fell in place in ways that blew my mind. And it's still falling in place in ways that's blowing my mind. So all I have to do is allow it to happen the way that's best serving to me and my family. So, when your spirit is properly connected, another thing that can happen is you get sudden insights to solve problems. You're like, man, I've been thinking about this for like 5 years, and suddenly, oh man, the solution just comes to you. It's simple, yet effective. You get a sense of purpose that goes beyond personal success. Personal success is a wonderful thing to strive for. But when you have a purpose beyond your personal success, that's when you really tapped into your God frequency, y'all. That's what the vibrant mind seeks, is to have a purpose beyond the personal success. The personal success is a benefit of this purpose. It's not the purpose. The purpose is always to be you no matter what. And in being you, inspiring others to see something in you that they can recognize in themselves to pull them up the frequency ladder, the frequency rope. So everybody can start operating at a higher level of essence and being. So the internal essence. Here's something profound. While your body may age and your soul will transform, your spirit is the part of you that's designated to eternity. So the spirit, it don't die. It don't die. Everything else will transform in this and that, but the spirit is literally life itself. Consciousness itself. That's what the spirit is. It's just that link of communication between you and your higher self and God and all of your supporting cast along the way. It's like the difference between a smartphone that gets replaced every few years and your phone number that stays with you permanently, as long as you don't change it. So the internal essence, here's some, we just spoke on that one. So your spirit carries the eternal you. It's unique to you that will continue beyond this physical life. It's your it's your reservation number for eternity. Your spirit is eternal. It's your reservation number for eternity. So relax. Time is an illusion. You don't have to rush. Take your time. Enjoy the sun. Enjoy the rain. You know what I'm saying? All right. So we're going to talk about the relationship between the soul and spirit. And if it hasn't gotten interesting already, it's about to get more interesting now. All right. Soul and spirit aren't isolated from each other. They work together like a married couple. And your boy is a married man, so look. When you're married and it's like really something you want to work, you work together with your partner, no matter what. The dance of partnership. Think of the soul and spirit like dance partner. The spirit leads, provides divine direction and connection, while the soul follows, making choices and expressing through personality and emotions. When they're in sync, you experience what people call the flow. Get in the flow state, y'all. Another way to see the flow is getting in a receptive mode of allowing life to come to you. Don't even worry about it. It will come to you and it will take you exactly where you're supposed to be. And before you know it, you're like, dang, I was chilling the whole time and magical things just kept happening. I didn't stop the flow and I didn't get out the flow. Those moments when everything just works out, when you feel aligned and purposeful. And when you're out of sync, you feel internal conflict. That conflict is, you know, you out of sync. You know this ain't how it's supposed to be. You know there is something greater that you're supposed to be doing or aligning with. Your spirit is pulling in one direction, but your soul is going in another. Okay? So we have to really work on aligning the two so that while you're here on this earth, you can have the most fulfilled, the most possibly fulfilled life that you can have based on your experiences, y'all. All right, let's talk about the translation system. Your spirit receives divine input, but it needs your soul to translate that into earthly, physical actions. So I'm going to talk about this in another lesson, but the way you behave, we're going to really talk about this. Break down the word behave. Be, have. Wow. When that download came to me to just look at that word in a different way, behave, or your actions, the things you do. Be this thing, have this thing. is beautiful, y'all. So it's like having a message in a foreign language. You need a translator to make it practical. So when you're importing and exporting information between the soul and the spirit, there's going to be periods of time you might feel like that conflict of not knowing, not understanding. A lot of that is you have to get better at allowing your soul and spirit to translate to you, but you have to be in a receptive mode to hear. You don't always get it from an outside source. Sometimes you need to be quiet just for a brief moment and allow the things that God want to communicate to you to come to you. Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your auntie, your friends, they may not have the answer. And a lot of the times they won't have the answer. They will have their answer. But your answer is the one that comes directly from up to in. Okay? So, for example, the spirit may receive the frequency of peace. The soul has to translate that to, hey, I'm at peace. Don't worry about that job interview. The body reacts. So now you're going to have, see, this is the physical response. You're going to have relaxed shoulders. Your breathing becomes steady. And you're going to speak confidently like you know you got that job. So that's the alignment right there. The spirit, if the spirit sends you, be at peace. And your soul, your ego, your personality be like, but, then your body is going to be all jittery and stuff. Now, the person interviewing you looking at you like, I don't know if they can work here. They're not responding in a way that's confident and at peace. And to assure me that they can handle this job. All right, we're going to talk about the amplification effect. When the soul and spirit works together, they amplify each other. It's like the difference between singing alone in your room versus singing with a backing band and a whole sound system. And if you don't have a sound system, I definitely recommend one. I have one. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to brag, but I'm blessed, y'all. You feel me? So let's do some practical applications of how you can apply this to your life today, y'all. Feed. Please feed both your soul and your spirit. It's very important. Just like your body needs different types of nutrients, your soul and spirit needs different types of inputs and stimulations. Soul food includes learning new things. That feeds your mind. That gets your mind stimulated, thinking about the new possibilities, because life is endless possibilities. Making positive choices. That strengthens your willpower. The more you make the choice you should make, that is positive to you and have a positive effect to you in your life, that strengthens your will. That strengthens your soul. Processing emotions healthily. That balances your emotional system, y'all. Okay? Developing your personality gifts. That optimizes your operating system. The way you operate, the way you function. It's all coming together the more you develop your personality gifts. So I like to laugh. So I like to include laughter in my teachings. That's a personality trait of mine. So I'm just optimizing the way I teach to include a little bit of laughter, because you have to laugh. I have to laugh. I don't know how you operate in this thing called life without laughter. But spirit food includes prayer and meditation, that solitude, that prayer, that speaking directly to the source. That strengthens your divine connection. Scripture and spiritual reading provides divine input, y'all. Study the material that you prefer to study. I don't care what you study, but as long as it's providing you divine input. Worship and gratitude. If you can get in a state of gratitude, the more you're in gratitude, in my opinion, the more life just works out for you. Because you're not worried about anything. You just appreciate the experience. When you worship and practice gratitude, what you're really doing is you're tuning your frequency to God's frequency. You're going to feel loved all the time when you operating in gratitude, y'all. So, serving others, that exercises your spiritual muscles. All right. Another practical thing to diagnose problems in your soul or your spirit. When something feels off in your life, you can diagnose it. Which area needs your attention? So these are problems of the soul you may feel. Mental confusion or overthinking, overanalyzing everything. You're feeling stuck or indecisive. You have the emotional turbulence or numbness. Personality conflicts or people pleasing. You always doing what other people want you to do because you feel like you need to please them. You want to be liked. That is a soul problem. Spiritual problems or problems of the spirit feels like disconnection from your purpose. I don't have a purpose in life. I don't know what to do. I'm just here. I'm just living. Nothing makes me feel joyful, makes me happy, gives me any spark. You have a lack of peace despite good circumstances. You can have a house, a kid, everything taken care of, and you still lack peace inside. That's a spiritual problem. Feeling spiritually dry or empty. There's no depth to your life. That's a spiritual problem. Difficulty sensing God's presence. You feel alone. You feel like nobody can understand you or relate to you. You feel like you're not connected. So we're going to focus on the integration practices that you can do. You can try these simple daily practices that can get you moving in the right direction. We're working on developing your vibrant mind, y'all. So in the morning, what you're going to do is you're going to ask your spirit, yo, God, what is you saying to me today? What do you have for me today? What direction should I go in? You're going to ask and then listen for peace, direction, or insights. That's your morning routine that you can start establishing. These are practical. These are simple. This can get you moving in the right direction. In the middle of the day, you can ask your soul, how can I practically live this out? Engage your mind and your will and emotions to do something, to put it in action. Okay? So first you ask God, what am I doing today, God? What are you saying to me? God may say something simple. Go out and wash your car. So your soul, once you receive, go wash your car. Your soul say, okay, how can we do this? When will we do this? Where should I go? You're engaging your mind and your will is deciding to actually go do what you heard God tell you to do. And your emotional state after you do it, guess what? It's going to be so fulfilling to do what you heard God say do. It's going to be so fulfilling. In the evening, you can ask your soul and your spirit, hey, how did we work together today? Just reflect on what you went through in the day and allow yourself to feel it. Feel all the things you may have went through today. So, we're going to wrap this up, y'all, man. Vibing Works, we're back at it. I'm so glad to be here with y'all tonight. So, we're going to close this thing out. The beautiful truth is that God designed you as an integrated, very important word, integrated body, soul, and spirit that's designed to work in harmony. You're not just a physical body. You're not just a body with some thoughts and feelings. It's not that simple, y'all. You're not just a soul trying to have a spiritual experience. You're a spirit being living in a physical body expressing through your soul. When all three of these are aligned and healthy, you become the person God created you to be, fully alive, deeply connected, and powerfully effective. Everything you touch or put your mind to or put your ambitions on seems to blossom for you. So I'm going to give y'all some homework. I'm going to try to make that a part of my lessons just for anybody that may watch. Pay attention this week to whether you're feeding both your soul and spirit. Notice when they're in sync and where they're pulling in different directions. If this helped clarify things for you, please, y'all, hit that like button and subscribe for more content. because I'm here to help y'all understand how God designed us to work in a vibrant mind, a vibrant state. Drop a comment below, because I love to hear your biggest takeaway from today's teaching. So, I'm gonna be on this Bob and Works. I'm gonna be writing some things. I'm gonna create a newsletter for you guys to subscribe to. I'm gonna be very active on engaging with my audience here, because I really do believe that the more you work on making your mind vibrant, the more you can witness the things I'm talking about today. I'm a living witness, and everybody I'm connected to is a living witness. So, we're going to see y'all next time. Thank y'all. Y'all have a blessed night. And I'm out.